Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We're talking about super teams today in Star Wars Legion. These are notable groups of specific heroes and or villains that are often seen together for a while it seemed like it was going to be much harder to get in a game like Legion, but we started to see more and more of these. And I feel like it's time to kind of revisit these and take a look at some of the groups that we've got, but also what are some other super groups that we might be seeing in the future, and kind of how have some new mechanics sort of paved the way for other ones to show up. If you guys are new here to the channel, I'd love to have you stick around. We talk a lot about Star Wars and Star Wars tabletop gaming. We talk a lot about Legion, Armada, X-Wing, Shatterpoint, lots of games like that. So I'd love to have you stick around. We do giveaways all the time. We're going to be announcing the winner of the most recent giveaway at the end of this video, so you won't want to miss that. And we'll be doing more in the very near future, so stick around. If you don't win, don't worry too much about it. Again, how to enter to win any of those giveaways, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this a little bit. Now, we've got a lot of new units to talk about. With the clone commandos, we've got Delta Squad, unique, special team. We've got Clan Ren and Inferno Squad that have already been in the game. They came into the game in a different kind of ways because you were able to have, like an Iden Versio, but Inferno Squad as like a unique unit, but it wasn't the whole unit because you had that other person off to the side. Same thing with Sabine and Clan Ren. But we're also seeing the Bad Batch. It's getting very close. The Bad Batch kind of approaches this in a whole different way. They have a single unit card that has the mandatory equip option, and this is doing a couple of different things, because not only does the Bad Batch have their own unit card, but they also use the counterpart system by having the option to have Omega go in there as well. But it's a very cool little option. But they're going to have a Merc part so they can run Rebels. They won't have Crosshair with the Merc part if they're running Rebels, though, presumably. I don't think that's been 100% confirmed yet, but one could assume. But also, they're also reusing characters that already exist, which is also a very cool thing, with Echo in here specifically. Echo, for example, already exists, as an ARC Trooper, but if you were running the Bad Batch here, you would not be able to run Echo as as an ARC Trooper, or vice versa. And that's a pretty cool way to kind of look at it. And I think we're going to see more of that as more and more characters are very popular and are likely to be showing up in other things. I think we'll continue to see more and more as time goes by. So let's talk a little bit about certain units that I think would work well in this game. I want to start with the Republic. I mean, Domino Squad, I think, is a great option for another similar style unit. You've got iconic characters, fives, heavy. Again, Echo again. I know Echo. Look, but now we're showing that he can be used again. He can be done in a different way. It doesn't always have to be like Echo in the ARC Troopers, where it's like, oh, okay, he can go in ARC Troopers, but he can also go here, or he can also go there. You can make him unique to just that unit. It could be an earlier version of Echo, maybe not quite as good, but maybe a little cheaper. It's a way where you get a bunch of unique special units out there and have them out for like a slightly lower price point. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it'd be a cool other way to get some memorable clones out there. I'd love to, I always thought that Heavy was taken from us a little bit too soon, and maybe we didn't get enough cut up, and so they're like, there's little ways to be able to do stuff. So I think Domino Squad would be a really good one. It was just a great arc. It gave us so many great characters. Some have said that these guys were like the main characters of the Clone Wars. I mean, I still think it's Ahsoka, but it's pretty hard to argue. Like Echo and Fives specifically, pretty crucial characters for the whole of the Clone Wars. So I'd love to see Domino Squad show up. It could follow the same kind of methodology as the Bad Batch. It would totally work, and I think it would sell well as well. Plus, they kind of have different helmets, different look. People would go nuts trying to paint those faces on those wider helmets and stuff like that. Or you could just do them without the faces too, or without the helmets. So you could have a lot of options with the Domino Squad. I think that'd be really cool. Look, Separatists are a little harder, but I feel like you could maybe. I mean, it might not be full blown Separatists, but maybe it is. You know, they don't really have. You know, there's arguments that can be made either way. So it could be Separatists, or it could just be like Scum, or maybe just a Merc squad that can work for Separatists, but maybe also can work for like Shadow Collective. I think you could do a couple of things like that. But the Krait's Claw would be a nice little group to run. You got little young Boba. Kind of leading his little merc bounty hunter crew. You've got lots Razi in there. You got Embo. People want Embo, right? There's so many folks that you can run with. Bosk, of course, already in the game. Now, again, nothing wrong with running characters that are already in the game. Or a Sing definitely should be there. There's a lot of options that you can do here. And a lot of fan favorites. And it's a great way to get more bounty hunters. I mean, bounty hunters are cool, but imagine running a whole group of bounty hunters as one unit. That could be really awesome. And it would also be a way to make them a little bit less powerful individually and make a one unit not feel like, oh, well, if I've got Bosk and Boba Fett and Dengar and all these characters in one unit, how is that not going to be? All right, we'll roll 4,000 dice when we attack, and because maybe if they're working together, each one isn't getting like the whole payday. They're having to split the cut. So maybe Bosk is a little bit less vicious when he is forced to be on a team, and things like that. So you could kind of balance them down just a little bit if you wanted to do that. I feel like that's a possibility. Or just make them cost like 400 points to run all those characters, right? I mean, that's probably not the best way to do it. I think you want to have characters that, units that are more playable, and you shouldn't have to put half of your list in just to one unit. That's kind of defeats the purpose of getting all those characters into a list and making it work. So, that's some of my thoughts there. If we get into more modern times, I get into the Empire. This one's a lot harder because we already have Inferno Squad, but I thought Vader's Fist. I mean, this could be a couple of things that would work. It'd be, first off, it would be like an elite unit of maybe core, right? Like, what would it be that strange to have an elite core unit, a unique core unit? I think that'd be kind of cool. Although they'd probably end up being special forces, but I still think core would be really cool. And it could also be one of those ways to, possibly have a unit that could jump between factions a little bit, like maybe because Vader's Fist was I believe they were like a 501st kind of a elite unit under them. What if they could also work in the 501st for the Republic, kind of strengthening maybe that battle force a little bit? It's a thought. Might not work. Might not be close enough to the time frame to be able to do that. But something that could kind of cross over for Empire to the 501st in in the Republic without being accessible to the larger Republic, I think could be a cool idea. So that's some of the thought space that I'm thinking, or something they could potentially do there, without having to make like a specific unit for 501st troopers. That's like a way to do like a subset of them. And it's also a way to kind of get kind of a strike team of the Empire, unless you're going to go ahead into like Legends territory and get some some of the special elite Royal Guards, like Kira Kanos and stuff like that, and some of those type of folks. I don't know how far into Legends they could go, but there's definitely a lot of really cool Imperials in those books and from those stories that would really work. And that brings us to the number one super group, super team that I want to see show up. It's the Ghost Crew. I mean, we've had Sabine in the game for so long. So long has Sabine been in the game. Sabine has been in the game. I don't know. I'm trying to make it right. I'm trying to force it. It's not working. No, but we're definitely overdue for like a whole Ghost Spectre pack. And the cool thing is, now that we're seeing these guys getting closer to becoming a reality in Shatterpoint, I don't think it's too far of a cry to have them also show up in Legion. They could do a lot of different things with them too. I don't know if they'd go with like, short-haired Ezra, or if they'd go with long-haired Ezra. I feel like since Legion is a little bit more realistic proportions on the characters, so a little bit less cartoony, then this version of Ezra might end up working better. And it'll also help sort of differentiate your models from between Shatterpoint and Legion. My biggest fear is that Zeb would end up not looking as iconic, as he's the most cartoony type of character. But we do actually have a live action Zeb now, so we've got live action versions of all of these characters. And again, I don't necessarily want to jump straight to the Ahsoka show. Well, I guess we don't have a live action Kanan, but we have Freddie Prinze Jr. It's pretty much the same thing. He's always Kanan to me. Freddie Prinze Jr. Always gonna be Kanan. Yes, you're the man. You're the man, Freddie Prinze Jr. Love you, dude. Well, I don't know you, but I'm pretty sure, it's getting awkward really quick. Anyway, no, it definitely works, right? So I definitely feel like these guys need to be at the top of the list of like super teams that need to show up in Star Wars Legion. I want to hear some of your super teams, and of course it could be groups like Luke and Leia and Han and Chewie all in like one group. I just feel like since we already have all of those characters, like redoing them into a group would be weird. Like how would you justify it? How would you get them into an affordable unit status without shrinking their power levels so much? I feel like maybe you can do it by taking away some of their keywords. You may have to say something like, hey, since these guys are in the special strike force, you can't use any of their command cards. It's a thought. If you're gonna do something crazy like Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, Lando, or something like that, all in one unit, you might have to say like, all right, none of their command cards can be played while they're in this unit because they are focused on something else. Like they're focused on each other and protecting each other, and they're not focused on leading the rebellion for this battle. And so that would maybe weaken them enough that they could be affordable. It's a possibility. It's a way to kind of spin it. But I don't know. I want to hear some of your thoughts. Let me know who you want to see as a super team in Star Wars Legion. Let me know down in the comments below. We have a giveaway winner to announce, and today's winner is going to win a $25 Amazon gift card that they can put towards a gaming expansion of their choice. Today's winner is going to be Broforce 1. Congratulations, Broforce 1. You've Broforce won the giveaway. Oh, I'm full of terrible jokes today. Just shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. I'll get you squared away. And if you did not win, don't worry. We'll be doing another giveaway very soon. So make sure you're subscribed and click the bell for alerts. Make sure you let me know what you think down in the comments. Jump in our Discord. Links are down in the video description below. Social media links down there. And Patreon, also patrons. Oh, my gosh. You guys are awesome. I'm going to be doing some more Patreon giveaways soon, and we'll have some fun with that. We'll talk to you guys later. Big thanks to everybody. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to you all for watching, and may the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. The spice must flow, and always wash your socks.